Hi YouTube, it's me Dani and welcome. If you're new here, my name is Dani. I make vlogs about everything related from travel and aviation because I currently work as a flight attendant, but I'm also very passionate about women's health and feminine energy, and I'm currently studying to be a feminine embodiment coach. So I also create vlogs on health and wellness and feminine energy, and today's vlog is more towards the feminine health and wellness spectrum. And today I want to discuss cycle syncing. What do I mean when I say cycle syncing? What cycle am I referring to? Well, I'm referring to our menstrual cycle as women, our period. And it's something that is a little bit taboo still in modern day society. And recently I've started learning a lot about my period, about my cycle, and I've actually discovered so many amazing things about it. And I feel that a lot of women, they look at their cycle as something negative because there's certain times of the month when we might not feel our most optimum, you know, especially at the time of our bleeding. Sometimes we feel moody, we might have acne or pimples, breakouts. We sometimes have bloating or mood swings, but there is actually so much benefit to actually understanding what's going on in your body at different times of the month. And when you actually understand what's happening inside your body, you can actually work with your body to create the best outcome for yourself, to feel the best, and it could potentially resolve any issues you might have. So today I'm going to discuss the 4 phases of our menstrual cycle and basically what's going on inside your body, and we're going to touch on some of the best activities, best foods to eat, best exercises to do during those periods. And why is this important when we don't cycle sync is that we often have hormone imbalances, and our hormones are so important when it comes to our overall health and wellness and how we feel. Our hormones, they don't just affect our periods and whether they're regular or not. Hormone imbalances can also lead to anxiety, depression, mental illness, affect our metabolism. It can slow it down or speed it up. It can then affect our immune system. So when we're not taking care of our hormones, we're more likely to become unwell. And it also affects our microbiome, which is the gut bacteria. When that is unwell, it affects everything else in our body. And it affects that brain and gut connection. So it definitely has an effect on our mental health as well. So with all of that said, before I start, I want to show you a book, In the Flow. This is by Elisa Vitti. I hope I said her name correctly. Basically, all the information that I'm going to speak about in this vlog is from this book, In the Flow. And if you're really interested in what I'm talking about today and you want to learn more, I highly recommend In the Flow. It's amazing. I read this probably at the start of the year, and it's changed my life because I've started implementing a lot of the things that she discusses about cycle syncing, about foods to eat at certain times of the month, about activities and things I should be doing at certain times of the month, including exercise. And so I'm living a life where I am trying my best to sync my lifestyle, my eating habits, my exercise routine with my menstrual cycle. And I can tell you now, I am experiencing so much more relief. I feel less stressed, I feel more energized, and I know what to give my body at different times of the month. So I'm learning to be a lot more compassionate to myself rather than beat myself up because I'm not performing the same way each day. And that is very typical for us women, because what a lot of people don't understand is that The male hormone cycle is 24 hours. So it's really easy for men to operate the same every single day, because each day their hormones work exactly the same. Each morning they have an increase in testosterone, so they have motivation to go to work and do a 9-to-5 job. If that's what they want to do, they can go to the gym each day and be consistent at that. But the problem for women is that our hormone cycle is not 24 hours, it's 28 days. So we don't wake up and feel the same way each day. And if you're a woman and you're watching this, you know that you don't wake up and feel the same every single day. And there's a reason for that, because we are not meant to operate the same each day, unlike what society tells us we should do. So it's really important that we understand our bodies, we understand our hormones, and we understand what's actually going on at what time of the month for us, so we know what to give our bodies at that time. So we can feel better, we can feel healthier, we can feel happier, and we can live more stress-free, better lives for ourselves. Doesn't that sound good? And in addition to the book, In the Flow, she has an app called Flow. It's called Flow, and you can I use this now. Since I read the book, I downloaded the app. It's free, and you can track your period. So that's what I do now. And yeah, you track your period, and I don't know if you can see, but you have a calendar and you put in the dates for your period, and it can tell you like typical symptoms that you might experience. And it's just a great way to just log your period, so know when it's coming, and then you can see what phase of the cycle you're in, and then you can slowly start to see the ways in which your body behaves at different times of the month, and you can give your body what it needs at that time. And at least if you can't, then at least be compassionate as to what is going on with your body, because I just hate hearing women complain about their periods now that I know how amazing our body is as women. I hate it when I hear girls complaining about their beautiful cycles that we're so gifted to have, and unfortunately we haven't been taught about how amazing they are. And that is what I want to do here today. I really want to showcase how amazing our cycle is, how magical it is. And when you actually learn to work with it, there's so much wisdom and magic and just wellness to be had. So it is really worthwhile syncing your cycle. I know for myself, it's just changed my life for the better, and it's something I'm going to continue to do for the rest of my life, and I want to spread the word as much as possible, which is what I'm doing in this video. So now let's get into the 4 phases of our menstrual cycle. Phase number 1 is the follicular phase. So our follicular phase lasts for about 7 to 10 days, and that occurs right after our bleed, after we have our period. This time we could call spring. It's a time of new beginning. It's the beginning of a new month. So it's a great time to set intentions for the next month, start new projects, start a business if you want to start a business, start planning your month, because this time we have this boost of energy. Our estrogen is rising, we're feeling good, we're feeling energized, we feel like, oh, I want to be productive. At this time of the month, we're better at handling harder problems or situations. So it's a good time to tackle these type of things, organize. And as I said, because it's spring, it's also a good time to try new things. So try a new class, maybe do a new workout. You're gonna have a bit of energy at this time, so it's a good time to do HIIT workouts. It's a good time to do like a flow style yoga, a dance class, perhaps go outside, be in nature. That's always a good idea. And also at this time of the month, we're not going to be as hungry. Our metabolism tends to slow down at the beginning of our cycle. So you don't want to be eating really heavy food. To eat lighter meals, maybe a salad, things that are not so heavy because our metabolism is slowing down. But basically, it's just a time to prepare, to start new things, set new intentions. It's a time of a new beginning, and you'll find that you have a lot of energy to do these things, which brings us to our next phase, which is our ovulation phase. So this is phase 2 of our cycle, and we could also call this our summer. So we've just been through spring and now we're moving into summer, and this ovulation period lasts between 3 to 4 days. And the ovulation period is the time that we're most social, we're most outgoing. This is a good time to plan catch-ups with the girls. It's a good time, if you're single, to go on dates. It's a good time to have meetings. If you're into making YouTube videos like myself, it's a great time to record a vlog because our communication skills are at their peak. So it's a really good time to speak and to plan client meetings, business events, friend dinners, dates, whatever you can think of. Book out your social calendar around this time of the month because you're going to feel more outgoing and you're going to want to talk and be social. Also, our metabolism is still quite slow, so we don't want to be eating too much heavy foods at this time. It's also a great time to eat raw vegetables and raw fruit. Our body can digest these foods best during our ovulation period. Our sex drive is also at its peak during this time, which makes sense because that's when we as women can become impregnated if that's the plan. And also, in terms of exercising, this is a great time again to do a high intensity class. Maybe you want to do some weightlifting. You're going to be really energized in this period. This is your summer. This is your peak. So you're going to feel really good inside. And that is because your estrogen has risen to its highest point in the month. So you're feeling good, you're feeling outgoing, you're feeling social. So it's a great time to just be out there and give your best self to the world. After the ovulation period, we then move into the luteal phase. And this lasts for about 10 to 14 days. This is the lead up to your menstruation. Now the body tends to wind down a little bit. So you've gone from outgoing, social, ovulation, and now we're entering autumn. So your body's going to want to quiet down a little bit. Metabolism starts to increase, so you're going to want to be eating a bit more. You're going to be feeling a bit more hungry, so you want to be eating foods that are a little bit more heavier than what you were eating in the first half of the month. Sweet potatoes are really good. This is a time to nurture yourself, to tend to yourself. You can still do exercise, but probably not so much HIIT workouts. You want to be doing more Pilates, yoga. If you feel up to it, especially in the beginning of the luteal phase, you might want to incorporate some weightlifting, but nothing too strenuous. And really, it's important at this period to really listen to our bodies. Our progesterone is at its highest level at this point, so it's a good time to tend to self, finish up loose ends, start to tie everything up. So when we were in our follicular phase at the beginning of the month, we're starting new things, starting new projects. Now in our luteal phase, we want to start winding down. We want to start finishing things. We want to start putting a wrap to things, tying up loose ends. It's a good time to do administration tasks. It's a good time to do, finances and just like a lot of admin, paperwork. Just tie up all those loose ends because we're getting ready for our winter, right, which is our bleed. We want to kind of finish up everything for the month in preparation for our rest period, which takes me to the final stage of our cycle, which is our winter. And this is the time, I'm sure you all know, when you're going to be feeling introverted, you're going to be feeling very withdrawn, more wanting to maybe curl up in a ball and lie down on the couch and watch Netflix, or eat some warm soup or something hearty, and that is because our metabolism is working at its fastest right now. So it is a good time to eat more, and you're going to feel more hungry during this period. So nice hearty meals is what you want to be eating during this period. It's also, like I said, our winter time, so it's time for us to hibernate. It's time to go inwards, rather than looking at it like it's a negative thing. I know a lot of women, they hate bleeding, they find it an inconvenience, but this is because we usually don't stop during this period, and this is the time when our bodies need rest. We need to rest. It's not a time to be doing HIIT workouts and going for runs. It's a time to, if we're going to do a workout, perhaps just a slow, gentle yin yoga, or just going for a nice walk out in the sunlight, but nothing too intense. It's really a time to nurture ourselves and to go within. And a really cool fact that I found out is that when we bleed, when we are having our period, we're actually the most tapped in to the universe. So it's actually the time when we're most intuitive as women. And women, our ancient ancestors used to know this, because back once upon a time, women used to always gather around the full moon, which was when they would bleed, because we women used to be so in sync with the moon cycles that we would have our period at the same time as the moon. Women would come together at this time of the month, and everyone in society knew this was a thing, and really was supportive of this time, because women would come together, they would gather, and they would discuss their intuitions, the dreams that they were having, these feelings that were within them, and they would come together and they would talk, and they would be able to predict the crop cycles for the next month, and whether or not their tribes would have to move because of a lack of resources in the area, or whatever the situation would be. But women were seen as very wise, because that time of the month is when we're really in tune with the non-physical world. I don't want to sound woo-woo or anything, but this is a really good time, even if you're not spiritual, but it's a really good time to just go within, to journal, to take some time out for yourself. A good time to just listen to what's going on inside your body, listen to your thoughts, reflect on the past month, reflect on your accomplishments, what you achieved in the past few weeks, and then really just listen in to see if you have any intuitions about the upcoming month, because soon you'll be heading into your spring again and the cycle will start again. So it's really good to go inwards during your winter time, because you might have some new insights, some new ideas that you can bring forward into the new month. And they might just come out of nowhere. You might be surprised what you hear if you just take the time to listen. And I think a lot of the time we don't stop to give ourselves that time to really hear that intuition, that wisdom that we can receive. And that's our superpower as women, is our intuition. So I really encourage you, if you're not in tune with that wisdom within yourself, and every woman has it, I know that for sure, then to really just give yourself some time during your next period to just be with yourself, just to be in quiet, just to be restful, and journal, listen to some music, meditate, and just see what you hear. That's like our secret power. Our periods are actually such a great time to get, divine insight. So that's really exciting. And that brings me to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something new. If you have any more questions, then let me know in the comments below. Also, if there's anything else you want to see about feminine energy, about women's health, about aviation, travel, let me know as well, because yeah, I'm always wanting to create new videos for you guys. I love creating content. So if you like what you see here, then make sure you check out my other videos, press the subscribe button, follow me on my socials, I'll link them here somewhere, and I'll see you in my next video. Until then, take care of yourself and mwah, bye.